is Sunny, Sheezy, and behind the camera is Kenny, he, him, and welcome to Follow Your Taste Buds. So last episode we got to visit West Virginia native but West Philly living Dominique Barlow, who cooked us some bomb chicken and passed the taste bud baton on to Imani. So Imani, would you like to introduce yourself and your dish?
Yeah, my name is Imani Johnson, she, her. I'm making macaroni and cheese, so it goes well with that fried chicken that Dom just made.
Yeah, Imani, do you want to tell us why do you think Dom passed the taste bud baton on to you?
I mean, he really likes my mac and cheese, you know. I put a lot of flavor into it, I guess. It's more than just cheese and noodles.
Yeah, well, with these noodles boiling, do you want to show us like what we're getting into?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be using 3 cheeses. I have Gouda, Colby, and Sharp. I recommend always using Colby cheese and then switching it up between the Gouda and cheddar. Like any cheese is great for mac and cheese, but Colby is always like the best cheese base that you can use. And then I have like just some seasonings. I have some salt, pepper, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, because I like to salt and season my pasta. And then, you know, got some hot sauce and some spicy brown mustard to also throw in there to give it a little pizzazz.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Seasoned. Okay,
Seasoned.
Cool. Can I help?
Yeah, we can start grating some cheese.
Yeah. So what got you into making mac and cheese?
There was one year when I was in college where I was invited to a friend's giving, and it was horrible. It was a horrible time. They did have mac and cheese there. It was the most bland mac and cheese I probably like ever had. Sorry to that person. But I was also served like raw chicken. It's like they had raw chicken out that night and like hard rolls. Like it was a horrible, horrible time. And so from that point on, I said never again. And I actually went home that night and made myself a whole Thanksgiving dinner because of the disrespect that I felt that I received. And you know, that's just been it.
So then, like, what would you say is the difference between your mac and cheese and that mac and cheese? Like, how did you step up your game?
It's definitely a different, you know, different flavors, for sure. Like mine actually has taste. But also, it's like this recipe is kind of like a combination of my grandmother's recipe, my mom, and me. So I've kind of just taken like the things that they do that I really like. And so yeah, just like, you know, copied them. But yeah, right now I'm shredding about a cup of sharp cheddar cheese. And then you're also cutting about a cup of sharp cheddar cheese as well, of Colby cheese. And then I'm going to shred another cup of this smoked Gouda cheese. So I'm done shredding my cheese. You can see I got the cheddar and the Gouda in there, and then we're gonna throw in the Colby, and that's gonna be our cheese mix. All right, so our pasta is done boiling. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm gonna drain it, pour that into the colander. All right, and then because the pasta's still hot and I want it to cool down as fast as possible, I'm gonna give it like a cold water bath. So I'm just gonna take some cold water and rinse it. Now that that is cooling down, I'm also just gonna go ahead and throw in the seasoning. All right, so I'm gonna just throw some pepper in there. This is like sea salt, so you shouldn't really go too heavy on the sea salt because it's saltier. I'm gonna just throw this whole thing in there. And then this garlic powder. And then I will mix that all up. Get that dispersed into the pasta. I think that's like really the key, is like people do not season their pasta, and it's like pasta really don't have a taste.
Right, and the cheese can't carry it.
Yeah, the cheese can't carry it alone, you know? So it's like, don't be afraid to actually give your pasta some flavor, you know? It'll pay off in the end. So I'm gonna do about a tablespoon of this spicy brown mustard. All right, and for the final flavor selection here, we're gonna throw in just a dash of hot sauce. All right, and then I'm also gonna throw this cheese in here now. And I'm just gonna mix it as I throw it in there. And it's okay, like if your pasta is still a little bit hot, it might melt the cheese a little bit, which is fine. The real worry is just like when we throw an egg in there, because the egg is gonna help combine everything. We don't want the pasta to be so hot that it cooks the egg. So I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit, and I'm actually gonna start on the roux, which is a nice white sauce that'll combine with the cheese and make it a little bit more creamier.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead, this seems pretty cool, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw the egg in there. We just need 1 egg. I mean, depending on your batch, you might need more than 1 egg. But again, it just like, oh, depends. I know how to crack an egg. It didn't look like I did though.
I mean, that was a good crack.
But yeah, so then I'm gonna make sure that the egg is also very combined in here. Because again, if you don't combine the egg fully, you're gonna have pieces of egg in your mac and cheese. So now we see that our butter is melting here. Once again, it's not browning, which is, you don't want that. All right, so now that my butter is melted, we're gonna take some all-purpose flour. And this you wanna do slowly. You don't wanna do too much. So I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of flour, and then I'm gonna mix it in with this butter. The purpose right now is for the butter to cook the flour, because if you don't, then you're gonna taste flour. I recommend not taking your eyes off of this part, because it can go wrong so fast, so quick.
I was about to say, when I make mac and cheese, it's usually, I prefer it to be a 2-person job, specifically because of the roux.
Yeah, I always make sure I'm settled everywhere else, so that way when I make the roux, it has all my attention. And it's not thick enough yet, because when I pour in the milk is going to loosen it up some more for this sauce. So yeah. I'm gonna start off with 1/2 cup of milk.
Okay. I'm like, the ancestors are also lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Nobody whispering about milk.
So I'm gonna keep stirring as I just slowly pour this in here. And so you can see that what's happening is that the butter and the flour mixture is like solidifying. So that means I need to add more milk. And I gotta keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. Add some more milk, keep stirring. Make sure it's all combined. And you do not wanna walk away from it at this point, because it'll burn quick, it'll solidify quick. But now as it's combining more and getting more heat, it's getting thicker. So it's like it's becoming like gravy, you know? Which is the goal, you want it like gravy. So I'm just gonna take it, turn this off, and then I'm just gonna pour it into my mac and cheese mix here. The roux is all combined, like you're not seeing that creamy sauce like throughout there. All right, so I have my dish. Thank you. I'm going to spray it with some non-stick for the don't stick, and then I'm just gonna pour it in there. I might have made too much mac, but we'll see.
No such thing.
No such thing. All right, that might be all that's going in here. And then I always will top it off with just like some more cheese, because in the last 10 or so minutes of it cooking, I'm gonna put it on broil so we can like kind of cook the top a little bit. All right, so I mean, that's it. I'm gonna cover it, put it in the oven. It's at 425. Let it cook for maybe 20 minutes. And then for the last 5 to 10 minutes, I'll put it on broil and let it cook the top.
Okay. This has been a delicious journey.
Yeah, you know, mac and cheese, mac and cheese. So now I'm gonna take it out, uncover it, and then broil it so it can get nice and crispy,
Right.
nice baked top.
I was so hyped. I was like, it's time to eat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Almost, you know, it don't take long to broil it.
Oh, you just putting your hands on there?
On the foil?
Is the foil not hot?
Not really, no. All right, so I'm gonna take that back in. If you wanna take a look. Beautiful, beautiful mac and cheese.
Yeah, but let's just start.
All right, broiling for 2 minutes. 2 minutes on the clock.
Okay, before you lose another taste bud.
Oh, no.
How many chunks of cheese can Chuck E. Cheese chunk before he chunks on some kids?
3?
Sounds like a good answer. You get to keep a taste bud.
Wow,
Congratulations.
wonderful, great. Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese, don't chunk on these kids.
Well, you know, he's probably lactose intolerant too. Shouldn't be eating all the cheese.
But he's a mouse.
But that's why he's on stage and not behind the kitchen. Any
Okay.
last words before we dive in?
You know, bone apple tea. Like, go for it.
Bonita apple bottom.
Bonita apple bottom jeans.
Yeah. That's some good mac and cheese.
Shout out to the Mac.
Are you proud of this mac and cheese?
Yeah, I am. I am actually.
You're right, the cheese melted really well. Nothing else needed to be seasoned because the noodles carried it all.
Yeah,
The Gouda is biting.
it is.
It's stringy. It's got good color. Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, homie.
Thank you. Thank you.
So a quick question for you. Like, which one of your taste buds food do you really enjoy?
You know, the homie Derek, they made us some like homemade empanadas one night, like kind of on a whim. Maybe he planned it, I don't know. But to me, it was on a whim. And they were delicious. Like I have remembered these empanadas ever since. So I think that's the homie, the bud you should follow.
All right. So next time we're gonna follow our taste bud, Derek.
Yeah, in Morgantown, West Virginia, so.
Wow, we're gonna work.
We're traveling, yeah, getting on the road.
Great.
Yes.
That's what a traveling cooking show should be.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Imani, for this like delicious mac and cheese.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to previous homie Dominique for passing it over to you.
Yeah.
Can't wait to pass on the next taste bud baton.
Me too, I'm excited. All right, shout out to Derek.
Thanks.
I'm gonna eat some more. I also didn't have breakfast.